just like to open the special meeting. Do we have a title for this one? Is the special meeting at 9:30. And so I think we've got we've got an apology. So we don't have any other minutes. So I think, would someone like to move an apology for Councillor McMullen?
I'll move an apology for Councillor McMullen.
Seconder, Councillor Guthrie. Any opposition? All those in favour?
That's the first one.
Okay, that's 7-0.
And Councillor O'Neill will
Is he only a
be
few
here
minutes?
shortly, a few minutes.
Yeah, so probably don't need to do one for him. He'll be here. Okay.
Where we start?
Now moving on to item 3.1, tender 21024 rehabilitation of wastewater treatment ponds, Roma, Queensland 4455. I'd like to move that we move this item into closed. What wording can I use? Is this the correct wording here, CEO? Could I use that?
Yes. I need.
Do we have to have a reason?
We're just looking for
I
another
think the
copy of that
council-
reason.
The additional information that council requested there was to do with the history and all the projects that these companies worked on previously. I don't know if that's something.
Yeah, the other,
Discuss
the
the history projects.
Righto.
I'm just referring, I'm just looking at Julie just to
Yep.
see if that would come under it. That was probably the one the council wanted to have the discussion about, was what jobs that they've done
Morning,
previously.
Cameron.
Morning.
Whatever.
Morning.
Talking about people that work for.
just moving to go into close. Okay, it's only question 8, but that's for next week. But you need your papers. Oh, you don't have to. No, it's the legislation. Is it the tender?
The horse has gone out for a smell too. He said, oh, I think we'll get better off.
Sometimes I need that spell.
Well, it's only two. It's only
Moving to move into closed.
Which one? Which one?
Well, I don't know.
Shall matter. And we'll use this one here. This section, or is it a different section?
See that? They're the only ones that we've got to choose
To
from.
use. Yeah.
So anyway,
use
it's
one
good in
of
a
the-
way, but
Is there another part, or just the right section?
That's the wording, but
we got a
Then I
list
have
to
to
come
use
in
one of
today,
these.
didn't we?
those as the reason.
Yeah.
And you've got to satisfy yourself that it relates to one of those
Sure.
reasons.
I'd like to move in accordance with provisions of section 254J, brackets 3 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, that a local government may resolve to close a meeting to the public to discuss confidential items that councillors or members consider it necessary to close the meeting. And I would like to use for this motion negotiations, G, which negotiations relating to a commercial matter involving the local government for which a public discussion would the words are gone from here, likely to prejudice the interests of the local government. Okay, so
Yeah.
righto. There's not any other one, is there, to do with that? So I'll go with that. Do we have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Guthrie. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour? 8-0. Okay, moving on. So do we have anyone to move on C1?
Is it 3.1?
3.1, sorry. Tender 21024, rehabilitation of wastewater treatment ponds, Roma, Queensland 4455. Do we have anyone to move on this motion? Councillor Taylor.
I'd like to move that Council 1 select Australia Wide Lining Proprietary Limited as the preferred tenderer for the tender 21024, noting the submitted price of $569,627.03, exclusive of GST, including GST of $56,962.70 for a total value of $626,589.73 for the rehabilitation of Council's sewage treatment plant ponds at the Roma Sewage Treatment Plant. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or Delegate to enter into final negotiations with Australia Wide Linings Proprietary Limited and form a contract to carry out the works if final terms are acceptable.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor O'Neill. Any opposition? I'll speak in opposition. Does anyone wish to speak to the motion?
No.
Does anyone wish to speak in opposition? I will speak. I do believe we can go a different way to increase competitive local business, and I believe there's other opportunities there. So I won't be supporting the motion. Okay, does anyone else wish to speak? Councillor O'Neill.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I'm happy to support the motion that Councillor Taylor has moved today. I think this illustrates value for money. At the end of the day, we are here, yes, to support locals, and those locals also are the rate base of our community, and we've got to ensure that we are doing the best we can in making decisions in the best interests of other people's money, they being the rate base, and so I am supporting this motion today.
Does anyone else wish to speak? Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour? All those against? That's 6-2 if I can call for a division. Okay, moving on. To LC1. Organisational structure.
Mayor, I'm happy to move that LC1 organisational structure be included on the agenda.
We have a seconder. Councillor Taylor. All those in favour? 8-0. Any councillors wish to go into closed?
Yes, I think we have to.
I think that would be a good idea.
Righto, does anyone have any wording for that?
Yeah, I have a, sorry, LC1, which one?
LC1, organisational structure.
I think I've got it.
Page 2.
Pigeonhole this morning.
Was it? Someone else grab it.
Not in your pigeonhole?
No, I had a look, there's nothing there.
They were printed last night.
Oh, I must have taken it then.
Anyway, we can go into close and get your copy, I'm sure, so
Yep.
please go ahead.
I'll move that we go into close in accordance with the provisions of section 254J3 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. A local government may resolve to close a meeting to the public to discuss confidential items that its councillors or members consider it necessary to close the meeting. And for LC1, the organisational structure, it's matters to be discussed. The reasons to close is section 254J3B, industrial matters affecting employees. And the overview is that the report seeks adoption or approval for stage 1 transitional changes to the organisational structure.
Okay, do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Burkett. Any opposition? All those in favour? 8-0. LC1, organisational structure. I'd like to move that council that council adopt the organisational structure as presented to give effect to stage 1 of the transition process document dated 19th of May 2021, and that the changes will not be in conflict with the previous resolution to adopt the organisational structure of the 1st of September as far as the detail of the organisational structure.
That's not really,
Well, just like,
that's a statement, Mr Mayor, not a
well, I think it can be, that the changes, well, I can change the wording if you'd like, that changes will not be.
Could we not just adopt, what is the benefit of the second point?
Well, the second benefit is to say that, and obviously you noted a couple of small changes in wording and
That's what
so
I'm
forth.
worried about now, that
No, that's why I would be happy that the changes will be not in conflict with the previous resolution to adopt the ordinance,
What was that date again?
September 1st. Or maybe we could say this is progressing the organisational structure that is adopted.
it would be far better, Mr Mayor, rather than making a statement about conflict, that we just, because what we're saying there in the first part is to give effect to stage 1 of the transition process. So we're already foreshadowed and included that in that first statement. It's to give effect to stage 1 of the transition process.
Well, then I put in the first wording, transition process.
Process for the new structure that will commence full operation on the 1st of September 2021. Sorry, Cal, could I make a suggestion to give effect to stage 1 of the transition process for, after the words transition process.
Yeah, process, after process, Cal.
To give effect to stage 1 of the transition process that will commence full operation from, sorry Kelly, there's already the transition process, so just go back to those original words on the second line. Process, yep. For the, for the new transition process for the new organisational structure that will commence full operation on 1st of September 2021. Yeah, and so what that effectively is saying is that there is a body of work that needs to be done to be able to commence full operation on the 1st of September. It doesn't automatically happen on that particular day. So this enables us to get started and to be moving the organisation forward towards that 1st of September date and be ready for it.
And do I take that as being that will not be in conflict with that resolution that was made for the 1st of September?
So I did touch base, Mr Mayor, that there was a couple of title changes that are not substantive. So if it was too far removed, we would have had to do a repeal or amendment resolution. That's not what this is about.
Yep.
This is enabling the organisation to move forward with the preparations and to allow stage 1 to occur, and then we'll come back with subsequent stages as well, so that we as an organisation can be ready by the 1st of September. But if we don't start, we're not going to be ready.
Yeah, so it's not in major conflict or anything. It's, like you said, you'd have to do a rescission motion if it was, because it would be majorly different.
Yep, so this enables us to get our current staff into their new positions, and then we'll go with the next stage after that.
Well, I'd like to move the council adopt the organisational structure as presented to give effect to stage 1 of the transition process for the new organisational structure that will commence full operation on the 1st of September 2021.
Yeah, and stage 1 detailed in the tabled document.
Stage 1 detailed.
Tabled document with that minor edit, Mr.
Yeah,
with one minor edit.
Is it only one, is it?
Well, that was
Yeah,
the only
with one minor edit.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the detailed in the table document with one minor edit could be in brackets.
One minor edit could.
Yeah, and then after edit. Sorry, make it 2 because it's also on page 2.
Why don't we just say edits, because in case you find another one and we're not.
Yeah. With minor edits.
Yeah, I think that'd be safer.
As discussed. Minor edits as discussed. Perfect.
Okay, I'll read that again then. Council adopt the organisational structure as presented to give effect to stage 1 detailed in the table document with minor edits as discussed of the transition process for the new organisational structure that will commence full operation on the 1st of September 2021. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Guthrie. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour? All those against? That's 6-2 if I can call for a division. Any further business, councillors? Okay, I'll close the first special meeting that started at 9:30, or was scheduled to start at 9:30 at 12:02. Thank you for your attendance.